Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And it is almost spring, which means craft fairs are going to be in full force. So today we're going to go over some blanks that is good to have on hand at craft shows. Most people always think of like jewelry blanks and stuff like that, which are also great to have on hand because a lot of women are going to want personalized things. But what about other stuff? What else can you bring that a blank that you can personally engrave for what people want right on the spot? We're going to be going over that today. Some of the blanks that I brought besides jewelry are things like a metal bottle opener. Besides slate coasters, you can do wooden coasters. And of course, we have dog tags. So please stick around and watch the video as we go over so many different options besides what I just shown you here. Okay guys, so you're at a craft fair and these hat clips are a big seller. You can go with some pre-made ones with your school mascots and college teams or, whatever it is you want to put on them, which is great. But I would bring some blank ones too because businesses also like to use them. You can start by going to a QR generator. Make sure it's on QR code. Paste in their URL and click Save. It brings up a bitmap file. You're going to want to trace this just like that, and you're going to hit save. You can move that to the side, delete the picture. We're going to set that to engrave and just make it smaller. We're just going to bring it up and line it up to about where we would want it. I did previously make one, but I'm going to delete that. I typed out the text for the company name as well, and I am going to place that on it as well. For these, I am going to use my aluminum business card settings, and I will go to my Google Sheet to find out what those were. And if you know, we save these sheets in all of our groups, and I will show you how to use it. So it's going to open up to the info page where there's lots of great information and different places to buy some supplies for places that we do use. Down the bottom is all the machines that we have. I'm going to go over to the F2 and I am going to locate the aluminum business cards. And as you can see, it is row 19. And we use 70 power, 1000 speed, 200 lines per centimeter. So I am going to set that for my red light, 70, 1000, and 200. We can group that all together. And we are going to frame to make sure it's exactly where we like it. That does look pretty good to me. I'm just going to adjust it just a little bit. And we will now send it to the machine. We're going to stop the framing and process. Now, if you wanted to take this one step further, flip your jig. Make sure it's centered so you can focus those. I'm just going to manually focus. As Blake over at Great Lake Laser Supplies likes to say, if it's bent, the top is content. I don't know why that stuck with me, but it did. So now we're going to ungroup these. I'm going to keep just this yard guard part. And we can actually delete that now. I am going to take my picture again. I'm going to move this up, and we do have to size it down just a smidge so it fits. And we are going to definitely frame this to make sure. That looks good to me, so we'll send it to the laser. Okay, we're gonna hit start. And here is your custom hat clip for a business while you're at a craft show. Another good idea to have, these are actually just wooden, or I think they're actually a bamboo. They are bottle openers. Again, you can do this with a company logo or whatever you want. Have some pre-made ahead of time. With America turning 250 years old this year, I created this for a completely different project, but I figured this would be a good one to do. And I am going to frame this. It does look pretty centered to me. I'm just going to move it just a little bit. And we are going to start. For wood, you do want to make sure to use your blue light. You can actually go over into xTool Studio. You can type in what you're looking for. And then you can click on this and it'll show you a diagram that comes up, and each one of these are actually clickable and you can click it. So I am going to change these settings a little bit. I will do this one, but I am going to speed it up to, we'll say 400. I'm upping my lines to 240. And we're going to stop framing, and I will send that over. Okay, so that is done now. As you can see, we do have a nice dark engrave on that. There really isn't any burn at all, but if you wanted to, you can still wipe it down a little bit. This is just an alcohol wipe. And that is the results. It's a deep dark engrave on it. Another thing you can do is coasters, not just slate coasters, although slate coasters are a huge seller, but there's a lot of people out there that like wood coasters as well. And we're just going to center this, and we are going to frame it to make sure. Okay, so that is actually pretty centered, and I am happy with that, so we will leave that there. So we're going to stop the framing. And this is, again, another softer wood. I'm going to say it's probably Acacia, I want to say, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I want to say it's probably Acacia. I could be wrong, but we could go conservative on the engrave if you wanted to. But I am going to keep it at this same settings for this. This is going to take a bit longer because obviously it's a bigger work area. And we're going to send that over to the machine. Now we did get a really nice engrave on that. We do have some charring a little bit, but we're just gonna wipe it off. These bottle openers are great to have too. A lot of people like these. You can pretty much put anything you want on these, from photos to basic SVGs to anything. So if you did want to, you could take your vector pen tool and trace around the whole object and do the inside as well. And then you can put an image across the whole project. But just remember, that is going to take quite a bit of time on the F2. However, if you are using the F1 Ultra, it's going to be a lot faster, or the F2 Ultra. But let's get this set up. Again, we're going to be using our anodized business card settings for this at 90 power, 2500 speed, and 200 lines per centimeter. I'm actually just going to bump this up to 100 because I know this is a little bit thicker. So I am going to bump that up just for me. We are going to stick with the 200 lines though, and we will frame and make sure we at a craft fair, it's better to run something twice, especially if it's something that somebody's brought you. I would rather run it twice and be more conservative with my speed and power than messing something up. Another great thing to bring to a craft fair and have a bunch of blanks of are dog tags for, like, to put on the collar or whatever. They have many different variety of these. I personally like this kind, but I've realized doing all the craft shows that I've done that there's always somebody there selling dog collars, dog bandana collars, dog all kinds of accessories. So when somebody buys a new collar, they're going to want a new name tag, I would think. That's how it's been for me so far. And I actually have to make one for my dog that I just got. I am going to make her a name, and that's her name, Maisie. And I am going to put our information on here because usually people want that as well. I'm just going to use a basic font for this. So I'm just going to put our basic information in here. And I'm going to make these about the same size as well. And now everything's aligned properly. I'm just going to move her name up a smidge. And now I am going to make these all the same color. And we will group them. Now I'm going to frame them to make sure they're where we want them. I am just going to straighten this out a little bit. And that looks good to me, so we will send it on over. And now we have our dog tag for our dog. And we have one more idea for you guys, and we are going to go into elements here in Studio and try to find some really cool stuff. These are just trinket trays, and you can really just put anything on them. So here I found these roses, which I think are kind of cute. We'll make them slightly bigger, and we're going to frame it and see about where it is on these little trinket trays because they are rather large. So this is our trinket tray here. I do have to bring it in just a little. I'm going to slide it down. That way, if we were to bring this to a craft fair ahead of time and somebody wanted to add a name to it, you could. And I'm happy with that. Again, we're going to be staying with the blue light. I do know this is the same type of wood. So we will do this at 85 power. 300 speed we'll do, and we will do the 240 lines per centimeter, and we will click process. That engrave came out really well. It's actually nice and deep. I'm just going to place it back down. And because I moved it, I had to reline it up again. But let's see if we can get this to work. I'm going to turn off the frame. We're going to dump some powder paint on there, some powder coat paint. We're going to take our business card, and we're just going to fill it in. I am going to frame that one more time because it moved when I was doing it. That looks good to me. And we're going to go back over to the laptop. Okay, so I am going to bump this up to about 1,000 for a speed. I'm going to bump this way down to about 50 power. We're going to do the 240, and we will send it over and see if we can get it to go. Say you have these already pre-made and somebody wants to add a name to it. I'll just add my name. We're going to set that to an engrave. I'm going to go to one of my favorite fonts. And now I am going to make this a little bit bigger. And we're going to go over and frame and see if it's where we would like it. Now I'm just positioning it where I would like it. And this time, because I don't want this as deep, I just kind of want it a lot more shallow. I'm going to go 60 power. I'm going to go 500 speed and 220 lines per centimeter. I'm just going to dump some more powder paint on there, because why not? I'm going to frame that again just to make sure I didn't bump it, which as you can see I did. So I'm going to bump this power way down. I'm going to say to 40 because it's not really that deep. I'm going to do 1,000 and we will process it. Now you have your finished product. Hope you guys got some great ideas on some stuff to bring. And if you guys need more ideas, please comment down below and I can make another video showing loads of other things that you can personalize right on the spot there. If you learned anything from this video or you just enjoy learning and enjoy my content, please consider giving us a subscribe and comment down below. I will also link our groups for the P3 group and our F-Series groups that we have where we share all of our settings on our Google Sheet.